I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Peace! Peace! Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my job shop. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. Just recently, Lisa and I went on vacation, and we took off from Boston, and we had a layover in um, Munich, Germany, and then we flew into Thessaloniki, Greece, and we toured Greece from Thessaloniki down to Athens. And then we boarded a cruise ship with Mike Huckabee and his family, Janet and his kids, and all of that. We got to meet them. Down to earth people, that's for sure. Um, we toured Santorini Island off of Greece, and then we made a trip over to Ephesus in Turkey, and then down to Malta. From Malta, we came up to the east coast of Sicily, and I got to go up on Mount Etna 2 days before the last eruption. Uh, didn't find that out until 2 days later, right? uh, then we took off and we went around to Naples and then on up to Rome. That ended our cruise with Mike and 400 other like-minded people, which was a pleasure. Um, then we got on a bus and we headed towards Florence, and then went up to Florence via Essex and um, Siena, and a few other places in Italy as we went back down to the Vatican. And then we spent a couple days there, the Colosseum, Vatican, and so on. And then we flew back to the United States. I'm blessed. She's blessed. We were blessed with a great time, um, especially with the Bidenomics that we have right now and how we even was able to afford it. But also, we left for our vacation a week after Israel was brutally attacked, and that kind of thing threw things up in the air. Um, but all in all, um, fantastic. Looking at overall general public over there versus over here, confronted with the same crap we got with people just crossing our borders willy-nilly and whatnot. That's enough on that there. So I'm back in action. I've had a good run of a couple projects, and I'm kind of like leveled out a little bit. But this is Christmas time, so everybody's kind of like shopping for Christmas gifts and things like that, and that's good. And I've got my shopping done as well. So I'm kind of stepping up on. I want to get back on Pearl here and a few other things, but I'm missing my toolboxes that I've had in here that I've shuffled and moved around to give myself walking room because I'm in that flat spot war that I've been talking about ever since we come into this building. And so I'm going to be bringing my boxes back in here, but I have a plan. And the first plan is to go ahead and take this box off of my rollaway. This rollaway I purchased back in 1982. It was red originally. It's a Craftsman. And I bought it used from the tool room man at Atkinson Marine when I was starting work there. As a inside machinist, I needed to have a rollaway for inside the shop. And of course, my foreman went ahead and he gave him cash, and then I gave my foreman, which is a close friend, and I was giving him ride into work and things like that, and so I worked it off, and that's how I got it. And I made my own casters for the bottom, which have been on there for the lifetime, because you know that the casters are the weakest point on any rollaway, especially back in that era, in that time. Anyway, let's just shorten things up here. um, since I've come over from my other place, I have not kept this box very well, and it has become a shithole. And I'm going to be going through this top of my box, and that's what we're going to do here today. But let me explain quickly what I'm actually going to be doing in 5 boxes I'm going to bring into the shop. I have two 24-inch Kennedys, lowers or mid box and upper box. They're going to go on here side by side. They'll fit on here, and that will take care of 2 major toolboxes. And in the Kennedys, there was a lot of my tools like dividers and scales and a lot of machinist tools. This has always been combination of machinists and mechanics as well. I have this drawer is full of end mills that I don't use, or I've already picked through so many times. This is filled up with tool bits, brazed and high speed, all different sorts. It is a handy drawer to go to and everything else. This right here has all my tap handles in it. This actually doesn't have the machinist handbook in it because I have the machinist handbook um, up here, and but it's full of this and that. This has always been a junk drawer, and it's still a junk drawer. Um, this is center drills, springs, balls, a couple other odds and ends. This is my standard die set for American dies. This is my metric setup over here. This is actually just this drawer has always held my snap ring pliers and things like that. And this drawer actually became that drawer that you threw all your new tool bits and all your new end mills and all of your little technical tooling in here. And there's a couple other things in there as well. And this is pretty well mechanics tools all the way down through the bottom, punches, hammers, all that good stuff. And these 2 side boxes here were on the side of my dad's Super Duty. And when we put custom 5-foot boxes and we made them chrome lacquer pipes and we did all kinds of things on it, I received his boxes and I wanted to put them on here because when I was in the shipyards and I was in a big shop, I had a vise mounted here and I had a riser here. So this box set up here, and this was 100% completely flat and open for all kinds of stuff. And it's a flat spot. You can put some stuff there. In fact, I pre-cleaned this area right here because I didn't want this video to be 5 days long. So I kind of got rid of that because I actually had like a TP here. If you actually looked and saw this in the last couple of videos that I might have had in here and you got a glimpse over here while we were working around, you would have saw that. And this shelf right here, I put at an angle and I put my books that I use almost all the time right there because they're not going to be sitting on a flat spot and a bench taking it up. So I got them right here. This is my sticker collection. When somebody orders something, whatever, I throw some stickers in there, or I just hand them out when somebody stops by the shop. So we're going to take care of 2 Kennedy boxes here. Now let me move you over to the back of Buffy here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with 2 other custom boxes. Real happy with Buffy being here and Pearl being right here. They are probably going to move this way about 6 inches, okay, because I'm eventually going to be bringing the closing lathe over this way about 6 inches because we need to make stand room for the shafting going out the back side of it. But everything's going to be staying here. I'm going to be happy with that location. Now, this mount normally mounts a jumping jack or a shaper head. And I have that head that fits my K&T. So I'm never going to be picking up one of those or using it on this mill. So right now I just have a zip tie for my electrical here, but I can move this out. I'm going to make a drop down platform right here for 2 wooden boxes. All right, my Pride that I rebuilt, refurbished box, small one, and a little bit larger Gershner toolbox as well. I'm going to put them both right here. So they're not going to be sitting on any surface at all. They're going to be up here in the air. And I like to actually have them up high and then down so they'll fold out, you know, come a little closer like this. One there, one here. Machinist tools, lightweight only. Um, and both of those boxes will be able to offset that head weight. So this will still be able to slide back and forth and pivot around, and everything's going to be hunky-dory. So I thought that through in my head, and I'm going to be putting two boxes here. So there's two over there, two over here. So I have one more box that I want to find a spot for. Let me show you where I'm going to put that. Shortly before Lisa and I went on our trip, I took care of a few things in the shop. I wanted it, one, she helped clean up the shop floor and stuff like that, but I did a lot of different organizing and making sure that I had things taken care of. Back a few, maybe a year ago, you knew I got the surface grinder set up in an area there and we were running it and I did a little video and stuff like that on it. Then I ran into an issue where the bearing was making noise. So I loosened the belt on the back and I proved that it was the motor's bearing. And so I pulled the motor out and I went out to my bearing collection and I wouldn't believe it, but I had two brand new bearings to put in there and this thing got assembled and back together and it is running. So hence where the third toolbox is going to go. And that's because I have more toolboxes than I actually have the tools that I want to use in them. But I need boxes for individual areas. Okay. And the grinder does need a toolbox on its own. Measuring tools here and there, you're going to have some that you're going to want. You want some at each location, and that's going to be part of this. But there are sharpeners, nibs, and all kinds of other things that you're going to need, and your wrenches for your hubs and mounting. A lot of other things that might have to pertain to the surface grinding and grinding capabilities, because I have attachments for this and all kinds of other things that you, the viewers, have sent me, and I'm truly grateful, and I'm going to be putting them to use. The very first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and set up, and I need to put together my feet for the platform of this thing and get this down off of the 2x4s that I have it on, and we'll get this going. This beam, I'm going to drill and mount a pair of holes on it and have an arm, and I'm going to have a toolbox out here, which won't be in the way of the surface grinder, and it won't be in the way of this here. It might even have a little bit of this action into it. But I've chose the location. And this is all about fighting that flat spot. You can't just put a bench over here and put a toolbox on it. One, there's not enough room for it. And two, it will become another pile just like we're going through. All right, first off, I'm just going to take down my paperwork here on my fast order wheel so that make a little bit of room up here. All right, now I don't know where to start, but I think I'm just going to start on the top and we're going to grab it. I have a couple hand carry trays. That way I can walk around and then I can put these things where they need to go. I've been doing a lot of organizing out in my containers, and I also have a trash can down there. I don't know if I actually need to throw something away, but what in the heck did Fenner put up here that he couldn't have put away? Okay, I'm just going to start at the top here and bucket of zip ties. And I got a new flat spot over there. Okay, we'll put it in there. Um, all right, automotive vacuum gauge. Um, I've been using this for low pressure testing fuel tanks that I've been making. And the reason why it's in here and not anywhere else in the fabrication shop there is, or back in the container in the automotive department, is because I didn't know exactly where I was going to go with it. But I think now, because when's the last time you've had to put an vacuum gauge on one of your cars? I do occasionally, but what place do you want to put it? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to find a home for it in with my welding supplies. Now that I have a welding supply cabinet done in the other room, which was another thing that I did before I went on vacation. All right. Well, we know that this is zip ties here, and they probably could go in there, except for they won't fit in the jar, and that's why they weren't together. But they were together. They were in this shithole. All right. Um, this is my Joby, and it actually came into play in a lot of my videos, and it needs to be blown off. And it is a real smooth piece of equipment, and I don't use it too much, but I don't want to throw it out. But now in the container, I have a camera shelf for video cameras and other tools, lighting and connections and things like that. And now I can go put that in on that shelf. At least it's somewhere else besides up here. All right. Um, a nice little torque wrench. And if my toolbox was really organized as automotive machining, I could probably have this in one of these drawers here that really should have it. And I'm going to go ahead and be setting up the box, and this will be going in that box. And I'm going to put this in another carrier here because it's going to be a different purpose. There's going to be two different locations I got going there. Okay. And next level up. Oh, and there's that adapter I've been looking for. All right, another torque wrench. We're going to put that in with that over there. All right, last time we were laying out electrical in the building and stuff, and I've always kind of kept this handy, and it is nice to have a long tape measure and know where it's at. And I will probably find a different spot than the top of my box for that. All right, I got two things here just because I can see them that they match up. And pop rivet gun. This obviously needs to be in with tool collection, but it doesn't need to be in the top of this rollaway. All right, we got an inspection mirror. I'm so partial. I have several of them because actually I've always had them like sticking out of the top of my rollaway, and when the rollaway is kind of clean, they actually had a lane spot, and I prefer the stiff arm one here. But who's to say that you don't need to go in there like that? Okay, there's a couple mirrors, and they should be relocated into a toolbox as well. And this one here, I'm just going to put them over there. I have a hand tool bag that I like to carry around as well. All right, what do we have here? All right, we have a air pressure nozzle here, and I have now I actually have a DeWalt small battery operated air compressor. I love it a lot. So I'm actually going to be taking this air fitting off of here, and I'm probably going to chuck this in the trash. It doesn't owe me anything. except for that fitting right there. Okay, moving on. All right, I see a couple things in here. This has been in here for quite a long time. These are magnet tip and a Stanley power tape. Jim Tangent, same gentleman. He has his own YouTube channel now, and he's the one that came up with the quill wheel that everybody has on their bridge ports in the community and everything else. He actually showed this to me, and actually there's one on here right now. And if you wanted to stick that on there and take a measure over somewhere, it's been up here since he gave it to me, and I really haven't had that kind of a job where I thought that I needed to go from there to here, type of thing. So that's kind of sitting in here. We're gonna go ahead and relocate that. All right. Everybody's got one of these kits for crimps, and it seems like you never have the right end that you want to crimp on what you got. I'm going to put this in with my electrical because now I have an electrical shelf, and then I can put 2 and 2 together and find out if I actually have what I don't need quicker. And that's going to relocate. This is something I came across. This is a roto slitting blade, and I have a couple new little pneumatic tools, and this might come in handy, and I'm not really sure where to put this, but my whizzy wheels and most of my oddball tools I got in this cupboard. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and drop it down in here, and that's where it's going to be. Cutter, advanced mosquito. I hate being bit up by mosquitoes, and not so much since I've left my property over there on Main Street, which I used to go out in the backyard quite a bit and everything. And every once in a while we would have mosquitoes. Around here, the only time I have mosquitoes is when my neighbor over there leaves a boat out on the ground and it fills up with water, and then we have mosquitoes. So that's why it was right here by the edge of the box here, so I could grab it. Okay. Oh, got another tire pressure gauge here, and I really don't use this one as much as this is made actually to have a reverse, and I keep it around just in case I have that opportunity. We'll relocate that as well. Number 4 rawhide heads. These are 2-inch in diameter. They fit my my rawhide hammer I use over. You always see me pick it up over at the closing. So I'm going to go ahead and probably put these in a cabinet, so I know where they're at. They don't need to go here. Okay, here is that much of the lead on my TIG torch foot pedal. My pedal was laying on the ground, and a sheet of metal went off the table and went right down, and it sheared that end off clean. In fact, I haven't even stripped those. I was gonna do a butt splice, and I finally decided to just give up with that amount of length. And sometimes it bites me, but I can still bring my foot pedal all the way from the other room over here to the closing, and I can touch up a little bit of stainless steel on a shaft job that I'm did a weld repair on or something like that. And it's time to let go of that. I was actually kind of keeping it around, and I can see it a little bit on here every day, and it's a reminder about heavy metal and foot pedal cords. Uh, some wire tags. This is like the end. I did find my other um, supply of tags, so I know where that's at. I'm going to throw those out. Piece of rubber hose. Okay, what kind of kit we got here? Oh, a metric bubble double flare toolkit. Okay, this is cool, but it doesn't need to be up in the top of my rollaway. Relocate. I'm gonna have to get another carrier cart here already. Um, okay, I just happened to see two of these up here, and it's probably because I couldn't find one and I bought another. But you needed refrigerant for your car. Um, I got rid of the ex, and I used to have to babysit her car. So, all right, let's see what we got here. All right, this is a go get it. When you can't get it, you get it with this. All right, what's this? Oh, you needed this is the one you want to keep here, because this one actually gives you the fill, high, push to purge. Okay, so we'll keep this, but this could go in the automotive department out there. White Marine Tex. Remember the repair on the ways of the cross slide there when I did the closing? All right. Um, I'm not going to check and see if that's any good, but I'll move it out to the container out there. All right, here's a 12-foot tape measure. Um, I have so many tape measures, and now when you slide them open and you're starting to see some of the paint rubbed off of them. Okay. Um, Duct tape, Gorilla style. This is still good. Um, I'm gonna set it over here because I might need it before I'm done here. Um, okay, here is a foot for one of my clamshells. Here's another one and another one. Okay, right now I'm gonna go take them and put them on the shelf where my clamshells are at. So then I'll know where they're at. There's that Acme tap I was looking for. uh, okay, 1 inch 5, 1 inch 5, right hand Acme. Awesome. Okay, now I don't even have to put this in a box because I actually have a shelf over behind the K&T that I have laying room like this for my Acme taps. All right, we're getting pretty level on this box here. I mean, when this started out, even if Adam Booth was here and both of us were pulling down on this, we would not have been able to close this thing. All right, Malin stainless steel aircraft tie wire. This is very, very important to have and handy. And I have always had it like stuck in the top corner of my box, and I probably will be putting that right back in the top of this box because this box is actually going to become mechanic's toolbox, and I'm gonna be making sure that I have a lot of the tools that, instead of being buried in or misplaced somewhere, I want to have them in this box. So the idea of setting up all these boxes is actually to put tools in them and have them organized. And I have had cabinets and cupboards, and I've had these boxes out, and they actually, half of my boxes actually hold the average tools that I use on a daily basis, and then the ones that I don't normally use on a daily basis, I've had in those shelves that the cabinet is actually in the 3D printing room now, and I allow half of it to be used, but the other half, I've taken out a lot of stuff, and it's going to need to go into machinist toolboxes. So your V blocks and your parallels and a lot of other things that I need to store in machinist tools, exclusively. All right. Right now we're going to leave this out because there's also tons of chips, because chips happen. All right. Um, Two stone items. I have honing stones here, and I have one honing stone here. Let me see if there's another one. I used to have it might already be out into the automotive side or spot there. Okay, I don't see one. Okay, let's go through a couple tape measures here. This one's still not a bad tape measure. An old Snap-on. We'll hang on to that one. Let's see this one here. All right, here's another one. This is a power lock. I don't even like the way that sounds. All right, let's see here. We got a sleigh maker. Actually, it does have some pretty, okay. It no longer clips onto a belt, but if you got it over by the saw area, you might use it. Okay, we're relocating those as well. All right. Let's see what we got here. I love these containers. And remember when I needed a set screw? There's some good set screws in here too. For right now, I know that they're not stainless steel, but I'm going to go ahead and set those in on the shelf with my set screws for the marine applications. All right, I'll do that in a minute as soon as I have another reason to walk that way. Little felt. Circles for a battery. I'm not going to save them. Elmer's glue needs to be relocated into the shelf in the container. I do not know, and I'm not going to try to make a spot for it. Zip tie is probably older than, here's a black one. Probably fell out of that one. All right. This is probably one of my first big Sharpums. It's still got some juice in it. I've yet to actually have one of these run out. But these are always a keeper. Okay. Hey, we got some stainless steel screws in here that we got it for some special case, and those need to be put into the fastener area. Clips are only as good as either the clamping power or the sticking power. That one clamps good, but it doesn't stick where they're shit. So we're just going to chuck that. Actually, that one's kind of clean. I think it was upside down. The dust didn't even stick on it. It's pretty good. This is for square holes. This is my round hole one. But that glass is kind of screwed up, so we'll have to get a new round one. All right. Couple S hooks. That's a good place to keep S hooks. Like I was going to find those when I needed them. Actually, I did need something like that the other day. So we don't know yet. All right. Little rubber foot, little protection there. Um, it was a clear tube. Now it's kind of like old and dingy. Rusty razor blade. Those are, and a Q-tip. Oh, another Q-tip. And actually, Q-tips are really good by putting grease and stuff like that. Screwdriver bit. It's actually in still pretty good shape there. 3/8 drive. Put it down there in my all-around socket collection. There's an air nozzle with a carpenter. I call it carpenter's quick connect. I like the C style, but anyway, air nozzle. There's a rubber cowboy hat. Here is a die holder. Yeah, I do have something that would fit in there. Oh, and the reason why it's up there, it probably didn't fit in this drawer here. Or I had too much stuff in this drawer. Or I had cooler stuff in that drawer. Or too much stuff in that drawer. Okay. Hey, the most important thing, the keys to your rollaway. All right. Okay. Old school pressure gauges. That's a low pressure one, and this one might be a high pressure. Oh yeah, yeah. High pressure and low pressure tire gauges. Yeah. All right. This was for a project, and I tried doing something with it, and then I know the end mill caught it and kind of like spun it out of control. Some good chewies right there. I got it in time so it didn't get the other side. I forgot what I used that for, but that's now that could be in the bronze scrap. Okay. We got our Allens. We use these a lot. And for right now, this is another socket thing, and we'll put it down in our socket collection down in there. This is a CB antenna mount, and I still have the antenna, and this was a gift from my dad, so that's why it's in the top of the toolbox. Gifts from dad actually can live in the top of your toolbox, and thank you, Dad. Gonna live on my bench for a little bit. All right. All right. Here's some felt, and I think this right here is a size felt that I use on the closing lathe, and I needed some, so now I will. This is actually too thick of a piece of felt. I've never had too much use for it, but I can slice it this way here and make up what I'm going to be lacking there on the next couple felts for the closing, and I'm going to go put this over there on the backboard of the closing because I was just thinking about replacing those the other day. Okay, I've always had, I was given this Railway Express Agency sign, and this is actually the real deal. Real nice porcelain coated and everything else. I'm probably going to go screw this on the wall here now that I have a nice place. Probably up above the head there with my other collection of metal signs. All right. And my phase 2 index plate cheat sheet right here, and that's good to have. And I did keep it handy right here. And for right now, I'm going to go ahead and stick it right there. This is a screw and clamp for the glass case that I no longer have. There's a couple zip ties and a couple pieces of paper and another thing. Oh, here's probably this the last thing in the bottom of the box that might have any importance, and it's a 1/4-inch bit with a nice radius on it. All right, and you need bits like this, and that drawer here that has a whole bunch of bits. I actually have in the back of it. This probably looks like anybody else's toolbox. So this is like your little collection box. This is your little treasures. The problem is machinists machinists develop so many treasures, we get treasured out. And then the flat spots come along. All right. And then you think you're going to lay out all your treasures on the flat spot. All right. Chips, this got to be vacuumed out. The other thing that might be in the lid here, some really old pictures, okay? Back in the day when I first had the place over at Main Street there, I'm sitting on the back of one of my spreading machines there. And just some odds and end memories of about that time era. And we do have a picture collection that's out in the container as well, and I'll start putting some things out there. And the very last thing in my top of my box, and this was given to me by, and actually I did my first ComShaw or trade-off machine job for a friend at Atkinson Marine. And when it comes to Mickey Mouse, all right, so he's always been in the box. No Mickey Mouse, no hack and tack, okay? Nothing. This is since I've had this little mascot right here, okay, I have not done any hack and tack and no Mickey Mouse work. He looked pretty old when I got him. I'm going to probably give him a little dust off there gingerly so I don't blow him apart. And he'll go back up into the box as again, because I still got a lot of machining to do. I still got a lot of helping people out there. And as long as I'm doing it, I'm going to be doing it the best of my capability. I'm going to be getting the vacuum out, and I'm going to be doing some other things. And then I'm going to be just getting this toolbox off of here because I'm anxious to bring over the Kennedy boxes. And I do have to go through those, and I have to sort out what I don't want in those as well. And I'm going to be building sort of a pool of tooling and stuff like that that I no longer want to hang on to. And then we're going to be venturing that into the lathe and the mill and tools that I'm going to be giving away. And we'll be talking about where that's going to be going and who's going to be getting it. And also, I'm probably going to be setting up a site, and I'll probably have some things that will be on sale or that I'll be willing to cut loose with. And then I'm going to start setting up at the end of my videos a link to purchase that. And then I'm just going to let things fly like that. So I just wanted to go ahead and get back on the air here and let you know that I haven't retired. Actually, I did retire. I retired in 1994 when I started my own business. And I wake up every morning and I enjoy doing what I'm doing. So I'm really retired. I'm enjoying every day of it. So I'm going to get things rolling here, and until next time, get her done. I just wanted to show you. I got the two boxes up here. I'm taking the afternoon and kind of just kind of going through it. I pushed my other box over to the other side there, but I'm kind of digging through and deciding what I like and what I don't like. I also am looking at drawers where my dividers and stuff went, and now I can go collect my little tools that I've been putting here or there that need to go in here. And um, we got empty drawers, and we got drawers that just need to be reorganized. And these two bottom units right here have been just holding big tool bits and things like that. So we need to get these boxes set up so that we can have machinist orientated tools in these and keep mechanics tools at bay in other boxes and things like that. All right.